Hey everyone, James Niggemeyer here. Thank you for tuning back into my YouTube channel. Today I want to go over a bait that is really great as you move through the fall and into the winter. This is a bait that I feel like is super versatile year-round, 12 months of the year, but I really like it and really shines, I feel, in the fall, right in through the winter. And before I get right into what that lure is, please go ahead and hit the subscribe button if you haven't already subscribed to my channel. And if you like this video, please give me a thumbs up. Also, drop a comment down below. I'd love to hear from you. So the bait that I'm going to talk about is a Squarebill. And I think, everybody's probably thought, wow, we've already heard about the Squarebill. The Squarebill is something we all run and go through the rotations year round. But I just want to remind you that the Squarebill is a tremendous bait, 12 months of the year, but it's probably a really big go-to for me coming through October, November, and even through December and even January. When I go shallow, if I feel like the best bite based on the conditions is shallow, Squarebill's good. Either a 1.5, 2.5 Strike King Squarebill. Sometimes I like a rattling, sometimes I like a silent, but just depending upon the conditions, maybe if it's more stained water, I'll go with maybe a bigger one. And then when it's more overcast or the water's more stained, I'm gonna go with some brighter colors. And then also the natural colors for the more clear waters, highland reservoirs, and your smallmouths and spotted bass. But crawfish colors when it gets really cold and into the pre-spawn and even into the spawn. But shad patterns and chartreuses pretty much year round, depending upon what kind of bait fish those fish are feeding upon. This is just really a reminder that the Squarebill is a phenomenal bait year round, but specifically in the period we're in, late fall going in through the winter. If the fish are shallow and you've got some stained water conditions and you have lower water conditions where fish are out on the ends of docks, laydowns that transcend all the way from the bank out towards deeper water, those horizontal type covers, this is a bait you're going to want to reach for. Just saw him come out of that lay down tree and roll on it and just missed him right by the side of the boat. I'm telling you, look at that Squarebill. He's got it deep in there. Look at that. I'm telling you right there, you can hear clearly, no fooling, that we're in the fall because you just heard somebody take a shot at a deer out in the woods. Awesome. End of a laydown, running it in through the limbs on the edge of a little creek channel as it kind of goes back into this little bay. Those are fun right there. That'll warm you up on a cold fall day. A nice little chunk. Little limb jutting off the bank, little guy. One of the things I want to tell you about the presentation here is just making little roll casts up along that bank, up around that cover, and running it through the limbs as far as I can and directing it with my rod tip, lifting it up and then cranking, pause, and just fishing it out, running it on 12 to 16 pound gamma fluorocarbon is what I'm using with a Lew's KVD CC3 composite rod and a Lew's Hypermag reel. 7:5 to 1 gear ratio. All right. Went with the 2.5. Got a chunkier, bigger bass. Try not to get hooked here. Look at that. That was on some pole timber that was just right off the bank. Like I was saying, that not quite on the bank, and I'm just running it off in this little steeper stuff, and that's the result. So 2.5, bigger fish, and also running into some of that wood cover. There we go. Bigger squarebill, bigger bass. Look at that. Oh. I've had to work for him today. Once I ran up this bank with a little steeper incline on it. Golly, if I can just get this hook out. Look at that. That's a pretty fish right there. So what do you think? Beauteous. Everybody's out in the deer stand and I'm out here trying to catch one of those. Awesome. Put her back. So what I'm fishing here is the Strike King 2.5. This is the rattling version. I believe you can only get this one at Bass Pro. I'm not mistaken, but I may be mistaken, but this is a chartreuse sexy shad, and I threw it up there on that laydown right over there. You can see right there. I'm trying to point at it. Threw it up there. I took like 2 cranks. He came out from behind the laydown, ate it. It was pretty much, you know, 6 inches of water. He must have been right behind that laydown. But ideal targets for the squarebill. You just got to get over the idea that you might lose it. But just want to remind you guys, this is a tremendous bait year-round, and it's one that I reach for sure. I have on the deck. I want to make sure I got it on the deck all the time, but specifically in October, November, December, and then moving into the brand new year pre-spawn. It's just a great bait. Make sure you got your squarebills tied on. That's it for now, guys. Thanks for tuning into the YouTube channel. Got a little out of breath. Until next time, good fishing.